Okay, today I'm making a cheese and spinach bread. The recipe was given to me by a girl that I work with. I've never made it before, but I've had it and it's excellent. In the bowl I've got 2/3 cup milk. I just nuked it for about 30 seconds to take the chill off. A half cup of water, 4 teaspoons of sugar. The recipe doesn't call for any type of fat, but usually bread without any type of fat is kind of bland, so I added about a tablespoon of olive oil, and I'm going to add in about a teaspoon of salt, and we're going to add an egg. And then it calls for 3½ cups of bread flour. And most of my breads I've been making with regular flour, but being this is the first time I've tried this, we're going to go ahead and use the bread flour, and we'll experiment after that. Go ahead and pause. We're gonna blend this together. Get it going. Doesn't look like enough. Maybe it's only 2½. Okay, it's starting to come together. I'm going to add in a cup of shredded extra sharp cheese. You can pretty much use favorite kind of cheese. My friend used Asiago. The original recipe calls for cheddar, and we like cheddar, so we're going to need that in. It also calls for a 1/3 cup of grated Parmesan. Calls for a cup of packed spinach leaves chopped. I just ripped them up and took the ribs out. You just let it knead all in there. If you don't have a KitchenAid, you can do this by hand. It's just going to take a little bit more kneading, or it can be done in the bread machine if you've got a bread machine. The dough is still pretty sticky, so I'm going to add a little flour, a tablespoon at a time. You want to be able, you want it just a little tacky to the touch, kind of like the back of a Post-it note. You don't want it to stick to your hand. This will probably be a little stickier because it's got the shredded cheese in it, but you still don't want it to. I'm going to add about another tablespoon. You will always have to adjust your bread recipes depending on the humidity. On days when it's really wet, you seem to add a little less flour. On days when it's a little dry and no humidity, you seem to add a little more. Now this dough has been pretty wet, so I think I've added about a total of an extra 6 tablespoons of flour. It's still just a little sticky, but not too bad. When you touch it, as I said, it really shouldn't come off on your fingers, but you don't want it too dry. Now we're going to just kind of shape it on the board and roll it into a log. It's going to be like a French bread shape that we're going to let rise. And you just want to flour your board a little bit and knead it in. Not much, because it's got enough flour in it at this point. And kind of roll it out, and shape it out. You can make it pretty much as long as you want. You just want a nice, fairly even loaf. That should be good. And I like a little French bread pan here. It helps to give a nice crispy crust, and you just want to kind of center. And I'm going to cover that with a piece of plastic, wrap in a towel. We'll let it rise. Probably anywhere from a ½ hour to an hour. You want it to be almost doubled in size. Then we're going to preheat the oven to 350, and it should take about 20 to 25 minutes. I usually try to check about 5 minutes before it's supposed to be done because our oven runs kind of hot. Well, it's starting to hang over a bit. So yep, we'll preheat the oven and I'm going to set the oven to 350. Okay, it's been at 350 for about 25 minutes and it's got a serious case of hangover, but it's done. Next time we won't let it rise quite so much. Now you just need to let it cool and we'll give it a try. That's what it looks like on the inside after it's cooled for a few minutes. And it tastes pretty good.
Yep.